And now on to the Sussexes proper and Gemma, Meghan's podcast. We now have weekly instalments of what's been said on her podcast. Although, this week she did make some very interesting observations about motherhood. Here they are.
Always wanted to be a mom. Before I was a mom, I was like, oh gosh, I'm going to give a speech with a baby on my hip. I had a whole vision. I was like, I'm just going to... And then you fast forward. Granted, I had a lot of external things happening by the time I had both pregnancies and both babies, but it was not the way I envisioned it.
She gets criticised a lot, Gem. I would say that there's probably a lot of mums who found out that motherhood quite wasn't what they expected. So, is this one of her more authentic moments that other women, other mothers would broadly share?
Do you know what I reckon? That's actually the most authentic I've personally ever experienced her. That being said, I don't listen to her podcast and try not to, hate myself for following a bit of the Sussex news, but hey, a girl's only human. But I do think this is the most authentic we've seen her. She's expressing, I think, the universal human condition. Out of all of my friends who have become mothers, I can't think of a single one who has said, oh, wow, it's exactly what I expected. I'm nailing it. It's so good. I know exactly what I'm doing. And this child has fitted seamlessly into my pre-existing life, which has required no changes at all. I mean, that just doesn't happen. Child comes out of your lady parts and life changes forever. Yeah. And I just think good on her. Give credit where it's due for being that authentic about the fact that it is nothing like what she expected it to be.
Yeah, when I heard that myself, Gem, I thought that was definitely one of the moments where she was a little more effortless and a little less trying. It wasn't contrived. It was very like, oh my God, this is what happened to me. Not the whole podcast though, obviously. But anyway, she has her moments and we'll give her credit where it's due. Angela, she also made some comments about what it's like running a business.
So I think you guys know I really like being in the garden. And running a business, funny enough, it's a lot like gardening. Some seasons are for blooming, others are for planting seeds, but most of the work, especially early on, it's tending to the soil, it's the foundation, it's what everything is going to grow out of.
Angela, there's been plenty of criticism about her business efforts so far. I don't think that this helps. What's your view on obviously what she said, but also that there's ongoing commentary around her business efforts?
That's right. Look, she really murdered that metaphor, didn't she? It went on and on and on. And this is one of the things that I think she hasn't quite grasped is that if you raise an idea, just raise it really crisply. She just goes on. And I mean, I have listened to a couple of her podcasts because I have to. But the point is, compare business to gardening. Well, there's a lot of people out there that set up businesses and they don't have seasons where they have, time to sow the earth. They're actually flat out just trying to keep staff. So I think that analogy was a really misplaced and it, as I say, went on for too long. She has had huge amounts of criticism in the last couple of weeks. What's one of the things I think is a PR expert came out and said the trouble with Meghan is that to become relatable, you have to be authentic to start with. So she's not hitting the authentic points, so then she's not getting the relatability, and then she's not getting the likability. And he was sort of making the point that this is the way that it flows, and it's not flowing this way for her. There was also a Saturday Night Live thing about the trade situation between the US and the UK, and there was a skit about the fact, well, all Britain will insist upon is that America keeps Harry and Meghan, that they're not coming back for them. There's all these, we've seen this so often in popular media that they have become the laughingstock. Ryan Reynolds, in fact, someone of his stature, was making the note that his dad worked in the food industry, and he was sort of saying his dad was Meghan Markle adjacent. That she's done this for 2 seconds and she's only done this for a couple of minutes, and she's speaking so authoritatively about what she does. And I think a little bit more grace and modesty wouldn't go astray.